So this channel started and has grown largely based off of this camera, the Sony ZVE10. It's the camera I've probably talked about the most on this channel for a few reasons. So today we're going to be talking about this camera, why it's so popular, why I talk about it a lot, and most of the reasons are about this camera. One of them is a little bit selfish. So on this channel, I think I've probably made about 15, 20 videos about the Sony ZVE10, and typically they've been the videos on this channel that have done the best, right? They've got the most traction and most attention. Every time I make a video about this camera though, I get the same comments left about it. Why are you talking about this? Why are you recommending that camera? It's pointless, it's useless, stop talking about it, don't recommend it. And I always kind of think that that's an interesting take, an interesting position to stand on, because actually this camera has quite a lot to offer, even in 2024. This isn't a new camera, this is the original version, the one from 2021. And there's a few reasons why I choose to talk about it the most. And first off is the price. You can get these used for between $400 and $500 these days. And even back when it came out at about $700, it was a fantastic deal. Now, I don't think it's worth buying brand new today at $600 or $700. I think you should look on the used market because there are tons of them floating around. And one of the things that makes this camera so great is its image. It does produce a really, really solid image. Everything that you're seeing on the screen was captured with this camera, a $400 or $500 camera with some decent lenses on it, some nice color grading, and you can get a really nice, pleasing image. And this channel is largely about beginner photography, beginner videography, and trying to learn this craft, and most importantly, enjoy the craft. And here's the thing is that if you're not able to get a good image out of this camera, you're not going to be able to get a good image out of a really expensive camera, because a camera like this can get you a good image. So it's definitely something worth learning on. If you're brand new to photography or videography, you don't want to go out and buy a Sony A9 Mark III, because that's, you're paying $6,000, $7,000 for a camera, and you are going to assume, based off of what a lot of other people say, that if I just buy a super expensive camera, I'll be a good photographer. That's not how it works. I actually saw a comment on one of my videos a while ago. I'm not going to say who it was or where it is, but they were talking about how, the APS-C system is stupid. The A6700 or the ZVE10 are terrible cameras. They should get something like an A9 III, a $6,000 camera. I went over to their channel and they have some videos about the A9 III, and they look really bad. Like, I'm not trying to insult this person at all, but the footage that they were getting out of this $6,000 camera isn't good, and it's possible to get a fantastic image out of this camera. Obviously the A9 III is definitely a better camera, don't get me wrong, but if you can't get a good image out of a camera like this, buying an expensive camera is not worth your while. Now, a lot of people talk about the downsides of this camera, of which there are probably two or three. Let's say there are three main problems. Firstly, there's no viewfinder, and the screen isn't very good. But it's a cheap camera. I think that's forgivable. You're spending $400 or $500 on a camera. It's not going to have everything. You can get by with this screen. It's not an amazing screen, but it does the job. Secondly, the battery life. And this is more of a problem to me personally. These little batteries that come with these are just not good. The W50s are very low capacity. If you're careful with battery, you can make it last quite a while, but battery life isn't very good. But again, $400, $500 camera, you're not going to get everything. It's like the Blackmagic cameras, the Pocket 6K when it came out. Incredible image quality, incredible camera. Battery life was like 20 minutes. And a lot of people complained about it, rightfully so, but it's normal. That happens with a lot of cameras. And thirdly is that the files are 8-bit color, not 10-bit, which is a downside. 10-bit is better, absolutely, but 8-bit's not bad. Just because 10-bit is better doesn't make 8-bit bad. You can still get some great quality footage out of a camera like this. The biggest photography, videography YouTubers survived on 8-bit for a long time and built their channels on 8-bit. And yes, 10-bit is better, but 8-bit is more than enough to get a good image, especially if you pair it with a good story or a good narrative, good audio, good lighting, everything. 8-bit is more than enough. What you're watching right now, this is 8-bit. I think it looks great. Is 10-bit better? Of course it is. Yeah, 12-bit's better, 14-bit RAW is better, but on a cheap camera, 8-bit is perfect, actually, because 10-bit color or higher, you're starting to get into some really large files that are a lot harder to edit, meaning you're needing an even more expensive computer to run the footage that you're trying to edit. So that's one of the good things about having 8-bit color. The files that come out of this camera are so easy to edit. Now, can you push the colors as hard as other cameras? No. But for who this is targeted towards, content creators, vloggers, stuff like that, you don't need to. You're not pushing colors around that much anyway. Now, another downside is the rolling shutter. What that means is any fast-paced movement, the lines go a little bit wobbly. But again, for me, most of the time when I'm using this camera, it is on a tripod, at which point rolling shutter is non-existent because nothing's moving, and a lot of people use them for that. It's fantastic for streaming, for YouTube stuff, especially for the price point. It's a great option to go for. Now, the last reason I talk about this camera all the time is a little bit more selfish, and that's because Loads of people have them and it's popular. This little side thing that I do as a content creator is I am trying to get views. I'm not going to say I'm not. And my way of doing that is to try and talk about topics that people are interested in and trying to teach people to use the gear that they have. Loads of people have this camera. Loads of people want to know how to use it properly. So those videos just tend to do better. That's just how YouTube works. It's not a shill thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just there's more demand for content on this camera. So that's what I choose to focus on. It's what you guys as my audience tend to be interested in, and I want to make the kind of content that you all want to see. Now, is that selfish? Probably, but you know what? It's just the way that this game works. It's a great little camera. It's a cheap little camera, and it does a really good job. And inevitably, if you go down to the comments section on this video, you're going to see people say that it's a terrible camera. Check on their channel. So if you have a Sony ZVE10 and you're seeing a lot of comments that are really negative and telling you that you need to upgrade, wait. You might not have to, or you might be ready to. Look at your own skill level, and if you're happy with the quality that you're getting out of this camera and you're ready to upgrade, you're ready to dive in and get something a little bit bigger and better like an FX30 or a Sony a6700, and you're ready for that, go for it. Absolutely upgrade. Better cameras are better. Of course they are. But if you have this camera, you're still learning and you're still trying to get good footage. Keep practicing, keep honing your skill, and save up your money. You don't need to get an amazing camera right off the bat. Enjoy what you have. For most of us out there, especially those who are buying cheaper cameras, photography, videography, it's a hobby. It's a fun thing, and you're supposed to keep it fun. People who just talk about specs and talk about gear to the point of like having to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get good quality footage, they kind of suck the fun out of it. It's like, just use what you have, enjoy it, and learn how to use it better. Be the best person on YouTube about the ZVE10. Produce the best quality content out of the cheapest camera that you can and make that your goal. If that's what you have, use it. You don't have to upgrade just yet, but if you're ready to and you want to, go for it. If you have a Sony ZVE10 and you're enjoying it, keep using it. Just enjoy your craft. Enjoy making content, enjoy capturing photos, videos, whatever it is that you do with this camera, because it is a fun, great little camera to use. And if you hate this camera and you hate the content about this camera, first off, I don't really know why you're still watching, but that's okay. I appreciate you for doing so. And go make your own content about other cameras or other options out there to show people that all cameras are good these days. The most important thing is who's behind the camera, and you know what? Enjoy it along the way. So this video's been a bit of a rant. Sorry about that, I don't know how much of it I'm keeping in, but if you've enjoyed the video, do hit the like button, drop a comment down below, or maybe even subscribe as we continue to build this channel. I appreciate all of you for doing so, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.